Give that back!
Mouse trouble? Then you need Mousetrap.
Mousetrap, I guarantee it's the craziest trap you'll ever see.
The first to capture everyone else's mouse is the winner.
Just turn the crank and snap the plank and boot the marble right down the chute. Now watch it roll and hit the pole and knock the ball in the rubber duck tub, which fits the man into the pan. The trap is set. Here comes the net. Ouch! Mousetrap, I guarantee it's the craziest trap you'll ever see.
I knew you were a winner. Mousetrap from Milton Bradley.
Alphanumeric!
I do some of my best surfing in the web.
I thought you had somewhere else to be.
Enzo Matrix, you've changed more than I thought. What would Dot, fine woman that she be, think of her brother behaving in such a churlish manner?
Call me Matrix.
Hey, bits for brains! How many CPUs does it take to catch one sprite?
These Guardian bootlickers want me deleted too.
Well, blow me down.
Does he ever smile?
If he does, run very fast.
What's up, ReBoot fans? Welcome to another edition of Alphanumeric, a ReBoot podcast, where we talk about ReBoot, the old Canadian series from the 90s, Season 1 to Season 4, every single episode. Today, we are discussing episode number 35, Mousetrap.
Nope.
That's
episode 35 of Alphanumeric.
This is episode 35 of Alphanumeric, where we are talking about the 12th episode of the third season of ReBoot, Mousetrap. There we go.
What he said.
What? Okay.
You know what? This is our take. Sorry, this is our take. We're rolling with it.
Yep. No, this is staying in the podcast, so
I thought it was episode 35. Okay.
It is episode 35 of Alphanumeric, the podcast.
Okay.
Us.
Yes.
You, me,
folks.
Cal, LadyGlitch.
All right.
Anyway, that is AP Sniddler. I am another one of your hosts, Christopher Siege, and that, beneath me, is
NeoCal.
And diagonally, that direction, which is a direction that I nebulously cannot figure out right now. Anyway, you are LadyGlitch. Yes. Hi. Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 35 of Alphanumeric.
And with our powers combined, we are Alphanumeric.
With our powers combined, we are a cohesive unit who can figure all this out.
Flawless.
Yes, and we keep going with it.
Yep. Anyway, Sniddler, sorry, didn't mean to steal your thunder there. Continue.
It's okay. As long as I can redo this intro, I think we'll be all right. Yes. Today we are discussing episode 12 of season 3 of ReBoot, Mousetrap. Original air date in Canada, November 5th, 1997, and December 19th, 1998 in the U.S.
Cool.
Yeah.
It was a Canadian exclusive.
For a while.
Yeah, the Canadian experience.
Yeah.
Canadian.
And we have a different version of this episode down here in the States.
What?
Because when we watched it on Toonami, they cut parts of the very first party scene out because they didn't want to have the whole Binome's drunk on wrong kind of thing.
Yeah. There's a bunch of partying pirates.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
They're edited versions of ReBoot?
Yep. Well, at least the
Think
Toonami
of the director's cut.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Where's Tim?
Chris, maybe we did have a different version than Tim.
Well then.
Reference to a classic episode of Too Much Energon where my friend Tim guest hosted, and yeah, go listen to that. It was Too Much Energon number 12, I think.
Oh boy.
Yep. Anyway, so what's happening in this episode, Sniddler?
Right now we are cruising through the web, and everybody is the web, the liquid space, and everyone is partying like pirates because Bob is back, and everybody's just celebrating, and it's great. And people are, binomes are drunk, and binomes are like playing drinking games and everything.
I just got a
Saucy
glimpse.
Mare as go ahead.
I just got a glimpse of the credits, and I feel like this is worth mentioning. This episode was written by Marv Wolfman, who, amongst many other things, is the creator of Blade for Marvel Comics.
Right. Right.
Cool.
Yep.
I'm always like, I know who that is.
He also wrote a number of episodes of the original Transformers cartoon, including the 2-part Return of Optimus Prime, which featured the Hate Plague, which actually got a subtle little reference in War for Cybertron Earthrise, which I appreciated.
Yeah, so what's going on here, folks? It seems like they've made friends with the web riders.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like to take off their helmets.
No.
Some of them, right? Some of others do, though. And it seems like they're eating web
Lots of
nodes.
donuts.
Lots of donuts and energy shakes.
Yeah.
Is there an
And whatever is in a clear bottle. Because
mystery fluid that makes them...
Yeah. That makes them tipsy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mystery fluid.
Mystery fluid.
That jungle juice.
Much like this, I'm also celebrating Bob's arrival with some Pepsi Blue.
Pepsi Blue.
Hey!
Some
Tastes
Bob,
like 2002.
It's Pepsi Bob.
Ride the wave.
And it's really interesting. And
I want to know where they got these donuts.
Right?
Yeah, I want some donuts.
I should take off and go get some Tim Hortons.
I miss Tim Hortons.
Take off, eh?
I miss Tim Hortons?
I had a Tim Hortons in my college town, which is close to Canada, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
there are a couple
you
down there.
miss Tim Hortons?
It's a
I
college
miss
thing for
Krispy
me.
Kreme. So.
I also had a
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme up in Erie as well.
And
I did not know Krispy Kreme even existed until the 2017 Power Rangers movie.
Okay.
When weirdly, like, Krispy Kreme became, like, kind of a plot point later on in that film.
Weird.
Yeah, it was strange.
I forgot that movie even existed.
Yeah,
It's
me
not
too.
bad.
Mm.
It's better than
Well,
it got credit for, I think.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. So we're panning out in the party scene over here, and Bob decides to give toasts to everybody in the room.
Toast.
Toasts!
Toast. And he speaks
Toasts
in...
my ghosts.
He speaks in web. I'm calling the language web. Or it's like the squeaky, like, dial-up.
Yeah.
Sound
Backbone
you get in the
language.
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
America Online.
Cheers.
Welcome. Yeah. Yes. So they toast to each other, and they have they have words, and they have what goes on here? Sorry, hold on. I'm tripping over my own.
So Bob toasts the people of the Saucy Mare, and then Capacitor turns around and toasts the web riders.
Everyone's
that's
drunk
right, yeah.
and toasts one another. That's that's the scene.
Yeah.
Basically.
And everyone's
That's
cheering and
basically it,
having
yeah.
a great time.
Except Matrix and Andrea.
It cuts away to a binome hurling in the on the poop deck.
Which definitely did not show in the States in this
Nope.
version. But that scene.
Oh.
Which is
Yeah,
great.
Because I remember all of this differently, because I remember the party scene and all the toasting, but I don't remember the binome puking on the deck. Because I think
Because
that's
that
the part that they
implies
cut.
intoxication, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matrix's butt
And-
looks pretty good in this scene, I'm gonna say.
Who's?
Matrix's?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the camera
Yeah.
sneaks up behind Andrea and Matrix,
Yeah.
but we don't get to see Andrea's butt because she's in front of him.
Yeah, Matrix's butt looks pretty good in this scene.
Yep. Yeah, and I actually really like this scene. Sniddler, you and I talked about this a little bit. Like,
oh, yes.
Matrix and Andrea finally have a moment of relaxation that they're not game hopping, they are not system hopping, they are not out to kill anyone, they are not being killed, etc., etc. They finally, like, everything is right in their world, and their nonverbal affection to each other is really prominent right here, and I like it.
I hate when she
time
calls him
in a
lover.
while.
I love that. I actually really like that she calls him lover. And when I was a kid, now that I'm rewatching it with all of you, I thought she said that more, but she's only recently started to say that. Well, on screen.
Like it was
she said it a few times in earlier episodes.
Yeah,
as
but it's
well,
not consistent.
here and there. Yeah,
a few here and there, and I actually don't mind that.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think it's nice. It's not like they're like other shows where the two main characters are like sucking face the entire time. It's very sweet, genuine affection.
I like it.
It's very subtle.
But yeah, this is like immense
What would you rather
sense of
they
relief
do?
in this scene.
I cringe whenever I hear it, but I guess
it.
I'm in the minority, so.
I'm sure lots of people do.
What did you say, Christopher?
He said he's a minority. Aren't you listening?
We are all talking over each other. It's kind of hard to distinguish voices.
I said that I cringe whenever I hear her say it, but I guess I'm in the minority.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I used to when I was a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
and now when as an adult watching it with all of you, I'm like, I like it. So yeah, the scene Sniddler, it's kind of deep.
Yeah,
I like, man, this. I don't remember this because when I was a kid, right, like 12, 13, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
You don't care about the mushy scenes, right?
Yeah.
But like a lot of this arc, the Matrix arc, is exploring Enzo's vulnerability and like what it means to be masculine and the difference between weakness and vulnerability.
The whole dynamic of the relationship.
I do
overall.
What I do appreciate about this scene is that Matrix kind of has, it basically is kind of battling with the notion that like, oh, like Bob's back, but like, what if Bob doesn't like the man that I've become?
Yeah.
He hasn't seen me since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like the last time they saw each other was when he gave him the commission to Cadet version 1.0.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last time he saw him, Enzo was in Mainframe. There was nothing else. Like, Bob had no way of knowing that they were out looking for him or how they would even get there.
A lot's happened between now and then.
Yeah. Andrea wants him to like, why aren't you going and like hanging out with like Bob and the others? And he is. It's great to see him. And she's trying to urge him to go and talk to Bob, and he doesn't feel like he can because he was a different person. He was like young. He looked up to him.
Yeah, it's kind of like when we go off to university or somewhere for a long term, and then we return back home a different person. We know we've changed, but the people on the outside don't know that, and it's like, how are they going to perceive what I have been through? And now that I'm coming back to like my roots,
I'd say it's more like when you're 11 years old and you leave to go on your Pokemon adventure, and you come back like 15 years later with like grizzled facial hair, and you're like 300 pounds made of muscle. Because it's not like he's gone for college. Like this kid was like 10, 11 when he disappeared, and he's like what, mid-20s?
Yeah.
Nearing 30. Like most of his life has been outside of Mainframe.
Right.
Or at least half of it, right?
Yeah.
So this is it's like, man,
or like the first time you ever meet your dad ever is at a child support hearing when you're 10 years old, when he denies being your father, and then like 15 years later he randomly shows up at your wedding.
That's exactly what it is.
This is a great episode of
wow.
Actual thing that happened to me.
We are digging really deep here, folks. Don't touch that dial.
This is only the beginning.
Yeah. We are only this far in. All right.
We're literally 4 minutes in.
So Bob is Enzo's dad.
Analogy, actually. I don't know where you pulled that from, but that's exactly what it's like.
Out of thin air.
Yeah, that's
not real world experience at all. No.
So after that scene where Andrea encourages Enzo, hey, don't worry about it. Go talk to Bob. We cut to the party again, and I guess Ray Tracer is... You okay, Sniddler?
Yes.
You looked at the bottle like you just drank poison. Now he's got some blue tongue going on.
It tastes like it. Yeah.
So I guess it's like a frat house, and everybody's dared Ray Tracer to... What are these? Are these web nulls?
No.
It's like a slithering anchovy of some sort.
What this
my instinct
is
nulls, but they're black.
Yeah, there's like a web slug.
Apparently, this is a reference to from Star Trek. It was a Klingon food that wriggles all the way down. Yeah.
Oh, these aren't. But in the reboot world, are these supposed to be anything?
I guess they're just.
Because if they're nulls, that kind of freaks me out. Because they used to be sprites then, right?
I don't know. They're like
they don't
they're
look
black.
like nulls.
Like
no.
leeches. They look like leeches.
They're black
It's
and
weird.
they're smaller than nulls. So yeah, maybe they're just creatures.
Yeah.
Web leeches.
Web
Yeah,
leeches.
let's go with
Web
that.
leeches.
Still, though, they're eating something alive. Like, I don't know.
I'm down with that.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I'm okay with that. That's fine.
I
As long
find
as
that-
I'm
I find
not
that
doing
weird.
it. Good.
I can do that. No problem.
Depends.
I could eat a live
It
chicken.
really depends.
Could and would though. That depends.
So basically, Ray Tracer, yes, because the web writers here are looking at him and they're going like, "Oh, he's brave," you know, and the other one's kind of going, "Well, I never got used to them either," because Bob had just finished explaining that they wriggle all the way down as you swallow them, and so yeah, they're just watching and amused as Ray Tracer is holding one of these over his face, and he's
So nobody likes them. This
Yeah.
isn't like a thing that web
It's like,
writers.
it's like a
It's not
survival.
like something
food.
you
don't-
gotta get used
don't
to.
want eat
It's
them.
yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to eat them, but you have to for like protein and survival and not dying.
Exactly.
They really
This is
Exactly.
like a drunk
This-
game, basically. Like,
Yeah, it's a
man, I bet you can't like eat this like live slug as it like wriggles all the way down your throat.
Don't eat
Yeah.
slugs.
Do
by
not
the
eat
way,
slugs.
anybody
Eat
like listening? They're full of parasites. Yeah, you can fucking die. Don't eat slugs.
Neocal has a story. No.
Just something I learned reading horror stories about
Okay.
on Reddit.
All right.
Of
Reddit.
people actually getting like parasites that affected their nervous system. So
Blimey.
don't eat slugs.
Do not eat slugs.
Yeah. And speaking of,
So
he's
I
dead.
have experience.
Ray
With,
Tracer's fucking dead.
Ray Tracer downs it, and he's all like, ah, and then he's like, ah, and then he falls to the table, and everyone's just like, they all freeze, and they're like, oh, he's dead. Look what they've done. And he's faking.
Mm-hmm.
Or he
Yeah.
passed out for a second. I don't know. It's
Probably
unclear.
did. I mean, I'd be a little shocked if I felt that.
Yeah, the
Wriggling
web
all the
writers
way
are
down.
like, "You're a warrior. You have honor," and I'm like, "That is what gives him honor, not the fact he was out in the web fighting you guys like yesterday." Okay.
And then, so he slaps him on the back. He's like, "Hey!" And it was right as Enzo comes through the door to join the
They
party.
slam into each other.
And then they slam into each other. And this is an interesting scene, because I'm kind of torn on this. Because Enzo reacts in such a way that makes him pull a gun on Ray Tracer. Because, you know, it's kind of an unexpected thing that happens. And Enzo's got some serious PTSD going on, in theory.
And the web writers that were talking to him come to defuse the situation.
Yeah. And then I guess Enzo feels threatened or cornered or something. And so then he points the gun at them.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bob, you know, tells him, dude, calm down. Put the gun away. You know, what's wrong with you?
It was a
I
knee-jerk
Look
reaction.
how he talks to him.
Yeah.
Like, young man, put the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he addresses
What do
him
you
as
think you're doing?
Enzo. He addresses him as Enzo, not
Yeah.
Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because that's like kind of his
Everybody's
dad, you know?
being really nice to him. even though he's continuously still abrasive.
Right.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the last time that they saw each other. Little Enzo was still Enzo in his eyes.
Well, because when he apologized, he was just like, you know, I'm sorry. Like he kind of saw that come back into his face, you know, where he felt ashamed of himself.
Yeah. I love Bob's look at 537. It's like, dude, you got the narrowed eyes. It's like, what the fuck?
Sad Enzo music as he leaves.
Yes.
Do.
And it's the descent in the bassoon. Yeah, I caught that too. And then Andrea tells Bob to go talk to Matrix, and then next scene.
The subtle head nod. Yeah.
And then Bob's expression is just like, me? Okay. I'm going to go do this.
Think of that. You guys think that's another forced Enzo moment?
I don't think it's very forced.
So.
No.
I think it's a natural reaction that Enzo just typically has.
Well, it's like we were just talking about. It's like we were just talking about on the deck where they're staring into the vid windows of the web. It's like this is the first time in a while they haven't been being attacked by something. You know, they haven't been chased by something. They haven't had to be somewhere to defend something. And so, you know, there's still that guard that's up. You know, so it's very, So we kind of see that where they're finally in a position where they can relax a little bit and be. And then this happens. And a little thing can set them off. You know, you never know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And psychologically, it also just shows us, like, it's okay to not be okay. Because we know that Matrix is not okay. No matter how...
Yeah,
no matter what the persona is or what wall that he shows the public, it's like, he's still not okay.
Yeah.
Kind of feel for him.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
So
I like Enzo more rewatching this lately. When I was a kid, I hated anything except Enzo being like a badass. I was like, shoot people, and he's a barbarian in this episode, and he's I want to see him in more games. And now that I'm watching it as an adult, and I'm like, I did not realize they developed his character this much. I like it. I like it.
He never
more.
really stops developing, you know, from
as
the
adults,
point when he becomes a guardian to this point now.
As adults, we understand emotional nuance a little bit more than we did when we were, 12.
Definitely.
Yes.
The talk between Bob and Matrix.
I love this.
This is a great scene right here.
Definitely. Like, this is their first, like, private conversation since, of course, Web World Wars.
I know. It must be weird. Yeah.
For both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I was waiting for Bob to address him and be like, holy so you're a little bit bigger, huh?
Yeah. Like, dude, like...
Holy shit, you've been taking your vitamins there, eh?
You've been eating your Wheaties there, Junior. Yeah.
So yeah, all Matrix wanted to do was make Rob proud, and he feels like he totally blew it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
we're the one guy that he wants to impress, the one person that he wants to do right by. Now he's just like, shit, like maybe he's not at all impressed.
Because even in the conversation with Matrix and Andrea on the deck previous, he says, well, he was, then he backtracks and he says, is my hero. He still has that respect for him.
Yeah.
And now he's trying to apologize to Bob, and he's like, I don't know what I've become.
Yeah.
And Bob's just like, you survived the games, you brought the crew together, you rescued me. I am proud of you, Enzo.
Which
I like that.
Yeah, it's actually very touching.
I've been waiting 3 seasons to hear that from Bob. Goddammit.
Right? Because we all remember little Enzo just running around as a little shit back in season 1, season 2, and now it's like.
And now he has a character.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't be so. He's being hard on himself.
Yeah. Well, now
he used to make excuses for what he's become, but he's evolved to the point where he's not slingshotted, like pendulumed the other way, and now he's
just taking full responsibility for it.
Not even. He's blaming himself. He's lamenting or
I suppose
whatever.
That
he needs
too.
to find a middle ground where he needs to acknowledge the good and the bad and move on.
Once again, he's with somebody that he can talk to. You know, it was like, you know, he was always being cool with Dot. You know, he was always just, oh yeah, sis, I'll be fine, whatever. With Bob, it's always been that kind of big brother-esque bond, you know, like where they can really open up. And in this scene right here, where Enzo is just kind of like, he's not going to talk to Dot too much about, supposedly, talk to Dot too much about like what he did in the games or how he survived. Well, with Bob, he just comes right out and he just says, you know, I've done stuff, like questionable stuff, in order to, you know, but without even finishing, Bob just says, you did what you had to do. I understand. You know, here we are. I get it.
Yeah. It's a very mature Bob moment, because we know Bob as, you know, the fly by the seat of the pants, make shit up on the fly kind of guy.
Different.
Yeah, but this is a very mature phrase. It's like, we've all changed, we've all grown, and now it's time to fight back. And he's very level-headed about it.
I really like Matrix and Bob in this like moment. I don't know what the show turns into, like too much or whatever, but like they're so different, but it feels so organic that man, I'm really liking like this like calm, a little bit wiser like Bob and like renegade like Enzo, and I'm like pretty fucking stoked for them to go back and kick ass and take names.
It's pretty great. You know, again, it's not like Bob's talking to a kid. When Bob's talking to a kid, it was different. When Bob is talking to like this guy, this man now, he's just, you know, it's totally different, and it's gonna get better from here.
I appreciate the parallels of these characters essentially like growing older and slightly wiser while the audience is doing the same.
I felt like when this show aged up, when Enzo like became Matrix, was perfect timing for me.
Same, yeah.
Because like, I was like, oh fuck yeah, he's got a gun and he doesn't have anything.
So like when ReBoot first premiered, like I was 9, and like when this season was airing, I was 12. So like this kind of shit was great for me at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a tattoo and a gun and a gold eye and a hot bitch. He's got everything.
Got a fucking pirate ship in space.
That's pretty fucking metal.
Yeah, dude. Covered in dead web creatures.
For a belt.
Shielding themselves with dead things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still have a dog.
Yeah, I still got the dog.
Got a dog, and the dog is a spiked collar.
Surprise Frisket didn't turn into a fucking Rottweiler in the web.
Oh, like web mutate or something?
Or sorry, in the games I meant.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. He didn't change at all.
He changed colors. He changed what was it, like into like a Doberman colors during the Evil Dead game.
Yeah.
He looked exactly the same. He just turned black and brown.
Hellhound, yeah.
Yeah.
I have that figure.
Of the
Hellhound Frisket, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
A guardian, what is it? A lost guardian and a renegade.
And not a key tool between them.
Key tool between them. Yeah.
I do always find it really funny when Matrix refers to himself as a renegade.
It's funny.
It's comical to me.
Yeah.
It's like a person referring to themselves as a badass.
Yeah.
Like walking into a room and be like, I'm a badass. But doing it unironically.
Like, we got America's badass here.
riding down the ramp to the ring on a motorcycle.
It would be like the Undertaker referring to himself as the American badass.
Yeah.
Which he did.
It's like going around saying, I'm so punk.
Oh, I hate, yeah.
I'm
you know
punk.
What's not punk.
I'm punk.
You know what's not punk?
Saying you're punk.
Saying you're punk. It's like
Yeah.
when you try to tell other people your nickname. When you meet a new group of people or whatever, oh, people just call me
People
this.
just call me
No.
this.
We give you a nickname. You
Yeah.
don't give yourself a nickname.
Yeah.
Unless your name's Hardboot.
My name says it all.
So Cal, back when we worked at Blockbuster, there was a colleague of ours that I always found to be kind of a amusing individual. Actually, there were a couple coworkers of ours that I found quite amusing, but this one in particular, I remember one specific instance where she was like, yeah, so I played like Little Big Planet for like 2 hours straight the other day. I'm such a geek, hey? And
is this the young naive one?
Yeah. No, fuck it, I'm gonna say her name. No, this was actually April. This wasn't Kimbo. This was April.
I'm surprised she said that. I'm such a geek, huh? Because you played like a casual console game for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I love.
Well, and that's the thing. Like at the time, I was like, "Wow, really? You're such a geek, eh?"
Should have been like, "Yeah, you fucking nerd. What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't even talk to me anymore. Unless it's Counter-Strike Source and nothing else, you're basically a filthy casual."
Yeah, I'm not.
So how did that go?
I'm not even like trying to gatekeep or anything like that. It's just like, and like one of the reasons why I found it so funny was because like that day in particular, like she kept saying things and being like, "I'm such a geek, eh?" Afterward, it was strange. Anyway,
Lord of the Rings is like my favorite movies. Like I'm such a nerd. Like, I'm so random. Like I'm just so random. Like that's one thing you'll learn about me. Like as soon as like anybody that like meets me, like after an hour or whatever, they're like, "Oh my god, this person's so random." That's me. Did you ever go to high school? We're all around the same. Did you ever encounter the girl, the I'm so random girls?
Oh god, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I think Chris D'Elia, the comedian, does a whole like bit on that. How drunk girls just call themselves random, or like they'll take the something that's completely not random at all, and they'll just call it random. The sun is shining today. That's so random.
Yeah.
It just
kind of like what Enzo does in this show.
Rubs me in a way I do not approve of. Yeah.
That I do not approve of.
Yes.
You have disappointed Father Sniddler.
You have insulted my sensibilities, good sir. Therefore, I demand satisfaction.
Where are we right now?
You forgot that there's somebody called Damon.
Yes. And the only other time that we talked about Damon was back in the episode with no name when Turbo comes around. He is just like, "Damon, here's the thing.
Listen here,
thing. It's on my head and on here. Icon, not my boob."
Yeah.
I guess
when
Bob
Daddy
knows
Chalk showed up.
Listen here, son. I've been in the game a long time. And when it comes to dealing with bad guys, well, I'm usually mostly useless. But you're a renegade.
It's like, let's now go into battle. And Bob's just like, "Are you ready? Let's go." And they start walking back towards the party.
And Enzo says,
"Bob, it's good to see you again."
Yes.
And then Bob
replied, to say
replies,
it because he was so afraid to say it, and I kind of liked how that conversation ended.
definitely. And then Bob says, "It's good to see you too, Matrix," and he accepts the changes that Matrix has gone through, including his new moniker. So, and you can see it on Enzo's face, not just in his face, but the musical motif as well, because we go back to a major key with the reboot motif.
I kind of expected
a little bit.
I kind of expected Enzo to follow that up with like being like, actually, Bob, call me Enzo.
Right? Yeah. Bum, 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 bum.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of expected that too. Like, he's like, you know what? I'm okay with Enzo. But
just you, though. Only you can call me Enzo.
Only you.
Yes.
Yep.
Anyway,
So-
tear in sight, Captain.
They find a tear. So, is this the first tear we've seen in the web?
Yes.
So do they naturally pop up here or there? I assume so.
I guess because it's very unstable. I don't know. Supposedly.
I had someone in a YouTube comment on one of these podcasts that we do explain to me a while back that tears are the result of games destabilizing the system. So it's like, okay, so why are there tears out in the web then?
No,
Is this the web?
That can be true. There's a lot more tears in systems that have lost a lot of games, and it can become so problematic that the whole system is. Remember,
Icons.
in this arc, icons. Thank you.
Mhm.
One more lost game, and remember how small the city had gotten? It was almost like it was mainframe, but it lost its outer layers.
Yeah.
It was just the principal office and like a few blocks extra.
Right. Yeah.
Is anybody else? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, sorry. And they were like, oh, if we lose one more, the system will destabilize, right? I don't think they're just caused by games destabilizing the system, though. We've talked about this already, but the milkshake machine exploded in Dot's Diner, so clearly that's wrong. Clearly,
it's damage of something.
No, run with it, Aiden. I think you and I have the same idea.
I was gonna say, like, it's just it's a tear. It's damage. There's something's damaged, something's unstable,
something becomes overloaded.
Yeah, and then it just goes boom.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yep.
Something becomes destabilized. So the milkshake machine, I don't actually know if that's what it was, but in the milkshake machine, right? That's part of the system, a small part of the system, but part of the system that became destabilized because the machine blew up.
Yeah.
Right.
And remember, they're like freaking out, and they like opened the door and they ushered it out. It was small enough that they could try to like hit it with a frying pan, or they didn't really know how to deal with it. And
so
then there are a
long
bunch of
story
bigger
short,
ones.
it's nebulous. What actually causes tears?
Yeah. They're a thing.
Anybody
They
else
exist.
notice the?
They are a plot device in this 25-plus-year-old show for children.
They can hide in boxes shaped like D12s. Remember, Bob goes scanning for one in the basement.
Yep.
And-
Episode 2.
And there's just one hiding in a like a crate, in like a box,
So are they
and
sentient
he exposes
then?
it. I don't know
Because
why
it was
in
trying
a
to like
box.
solid snake its way like in a cardboard box.
You know, we didn't really question that, did we? We just
No,
moved
we didn't at the
moved
time.
on.
There's a tear. Good.
They can hide in boxes and milkshake machines.
I don't know why I found this so funny, but did anybody
on.
else notice the businessman frozen in an energon cube?
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I have no idea. Looks like somebody they kidnapped from Mainframe or something back in season 1. But but yeah, he's just kind of there. Oh! And yeah, that's it. That's all I saw. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, do we know who that? I'm trying to think.
What's your
Is this a
time
reference to something?
It kind of looks like Hugh Branch.
What's the time?
Oh, it's at 7:55-ish.
7:50 onwards, and he's to the left of the vid window.
Yeah.
Right when the line we're approaching the web
Oh, yep.
address.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's Hugh Branch.
Yeah.
Is it?
Have they been back to Mainframe
What's it?
since?
No, he has a tie.
Yeah. So did Hugh Branch. He had a 3-piece suit
Hugh Branch.
and a tie.
He also has a hat.
Oh yes, I see that.
Oh.
Because it looks like a. Oh wait, hold on. Is that a hat? Looks like a
Yeah.
hairpiece falling off. Looks like his toupee is falling off or something. Oh, funny things.
He doesn't have hair.
Aha.
I'm gonna say
Yes.
yes because I can't think of anyone else.
No.
Weird. Why is he here? Oh well.
It is
Maybe
part
it's
of the
something-
bounty that
Maybe
they.
it's something to do with what we'll find out in season 4. I don't know.
I'm sure it'll be explained.
Easter eggs.
So something happens to the ship, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Mr. Andrew, status. We've triggered some sort of energy trap.
They get attacked by pixels. Glowing little bits of energy.
A
fucking swarm
Not
of
yet.
Tinkerbells.
Not
the Disney World light show.
not quite. Like there's
Yeah.
lightning.
Yes,
Oh,
we do the lightning part first, and
Yeah,
Matrix
they think
thinks
it's the
it's the work.
Guardians.
Yeah, and Bob's like, I don't think so. This isn't the work of the Guardians. It's not their style.
Yeah, they like blowing shit up.
Listeners, in the interest of full disclosure, I barely watched this episode. So, I'm kind of going into it like semi-blind. I did watch it. I did watch it earlier today, but I was in the midst of doing other things, so I was kind of only half paying attention.
The tear is kind of reflective, almost like it's a portal, but it's like got energy coming out of it.
Yeah.
I've never really seen anything like this. And indeed, the lightning straight up just targets the ship and like blasts it like an energy weapon.
Oh yeah, and it's just like running along the web shields.
Yeah, it's tearing it apart. We later find out what this is.
Tearing it apart, Lisa.
Why do they?
Okay. And
we should just fucking cover that movie.
On something, yeah.
Sorry, so
I don't even know what.
Sorry.
So they're being attacked by this thing, and it's this lightning, as we said, that is attacking the ship, and it's starting to tear things apart, and they're all like, "Oh, the shields are overloading, sir!" And so they shut down the ship.
Yep, throw the e-stop.
It costs them a little bit of sound, a little bit of time.
I was gonna ask you, when he says power down all the systems and take the ship offline, why?
I'm
probably
saying
it's
to go
the
dark.
energy of the. It's probably for the energy of the ship not to attract more lightning bolts.
Well, that was my thinking too.
Yeah, because if it can if those lightning bolts can sense the ship, taking it offline will cut that power.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was a Star Trek thing where they were like, divert all energy from shields into.
I'm giving it all she's got, Captain.
Well, Andrea pulls a "I'm giving it all she's got, Captain" a little bit.
Yes, that's
later.
right. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Our prime directive.
And then Matrix is using his eyeball to see outside of the shielding, and he says it's getting worse out there.
That's new.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Bullet Vision. of Bullet Time. Remember when he stuck his gun out of the shell? Shot, and he could like see where his shots were going?
Yeah, it's like super eyeball.
And then when one of them hit them, he kind of like went back, and I was like, that's new. Him just being able to.
Yeah, it's like Nikita missiles in Metal Gear Solid.
That's like the 7th time he referenced Nikita missiles on Lasercomb.
So we find out.
Well, you fire and press triangle, and like the camera like goes to like a point of view shot of what the missile is seeing.
It's just science.
It's a solid reference. Okay.
So this eye is OP. He can see through solid walls. It can auto-target things.
Pretty nice piece of technology.
Once he's connected to Wi-Fi, he could probably like order Domino's. He's like, Amir's making my pizza at 4:22.
Targeting.
I used to think that Domino's tracking thing on the website, you know how you can like do your online order, was BS. And then I saw a name that was something like I looked it up and it was like Syrian or something like that, and it was like a really long, like unpronounceable like name, and I'm like, okay, there's no way that's like real or whatever, and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to change it from take the meat off and put this on it. So I manually like called or whatever, and the guy picked up and he's like, hello, and then he like blah blah
Said
blah
the name.
talking. Because I was like,
God,
oh
you
hey,
exist.
sorry. And I was like, oh, hey, sorry, I don't know who's like working on the pizza, but I forgot to take off the meat. Can you? And he's all like, and then I could hear him like yell because he was like, hello, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, and then he said his name, and I was like, that's real, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, that guy.
There was one
That
dude. There was one dude like back in like the mid 2010s, like around the shortly after like the Domino's pizza tracker like first got introduced. There was a dude who worked at like the Esquimalt Domino's. I can't even remember what the dude's name is now, but like this guy was legendary. He amongst me and like my small like circle of friends, like we always got excited whenever the pizza tracker was like, oh, your pizza is being prepared by this guy, because we're like, oh shit, like this guy makes the best fucking Domino's pizzas.
Nice.
Isn't it amazing how to speak on that, right? You're like, oh, come on. And then you start to learn that person's schedule.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, remember when we ordered Thursday? Like Steve wasn't working then.
Yeah.
But like Friday, Saturday, he doesn't start until like 6. And you start to learn your favorite people's like schedule.
Yeah.
I'm a Subway guy, right?
Yeah.
The way that the sandwiches are made at Subway completely matters. Holy shit, when they just lazily slop everything on, and you know the people that they cut it while it's open, and then the way they close it is while they're wrapping it up?
Yeah.
Fuck off with that. But the people that like press it down with the knife, right? Then fold it tight, grasp it, and then cut it in half before they
Yeah.
wrap it up. Man, the way you fucking make Subway sandwiches changes the experience entirely. And once I found a guy that was like 10 out of 10, if I'd like peek my head in and I'd go, hey, is Ron Stoppable like working? And they'd be like,
Ron Stoppable.
They'd be like, Ron? I'm like, yeah, that's his like online handle. I'd be like, is Ron Stoppable working? And they'd be like, oh no, he doesn't start till whatever. I could wait. I just go in and like wait 20 minutes. And they're like,
You're
oh,
just like,
can we get you anything? I'm like, I don't think so.
Disappointed.
You know who I never... Did you know who I bet never biffs a sandwich?
Sorry,
What's that
what?
number?
Do you know who I bet never biffs a sandwich?
Who?
The cook on the Saucy Mare.
Yeah.
He takes his job seriously.
Oh,
That's
very
dedication.
seriously. Dedication.
He's peeling potatoes.
Is he
Oh, yeah, all
actually
the time.
John Silver in hiding though?
Oh, possibly.
Carrying the hidden map of the Spanish
Oh my
Urcas sail route away from
really
Captain
hope so.
Flint.
I bet.
Apparently, they actually did that exchange down here in Savannah at the Pirates House.
Ah.
Fun fact, Savannah, Georgia is a huge port city, big place for pirates back in the 1700s. So there's a lot of pirate lore in my town.
Nice.
Too awesome.
I was just
Yes.
referencing Black Sails.
Yeah.
I know.
You're also referencing almost every like pirate lore, right? Like you're also referencing the tale.
Yep.
What's his full pirate name? Just escaped my Long John Silver.
Well, he's a character from Treasure Island, and Black
Who's
Sails.
from Treasure Island?
Black Sails is straight up like it takes
Parallel-ish.
it takes lore from Treasure Island and also like actual real world pirates like
I need to see that.
Blackbeard and like Anne Bonny, etc., etc.
I
It's a
love
great
that
show.
the mix of reality and fantasy. I actually
it's
thought you were
basically-
almost referencing
it's basically-
Muppets Treasure Island. at
It's
first.
basically Treasure Island Year One.
Kermit the Frog and Tim Curry?
Fuck yes.
so good.
Holds up, by the way.
Oh,
like
yeah.
my partner and I watched it like a month ago, and we were like, "This is great."
Sweet. I think I saw it like a year ago. Yeah.
Part of me kind of wanted them to start system hopping, and have like a pirate saga.
That'd be so
Right?
cool.
Like, wouldn't that be kind of cool?
That would be
Yes.
Yeah.
But like they're liberating towns from the Guardians. So like they're not just being evil pirates. They're showing up, they're kicking the Guardians out. Right? And then moving on. I kind of wanted a pirate like arc.
Saga,
But-
yeah.
spin-off or something.
That I
Sweet.
thought that would have been cool. Yeah.
Seven Samurai type shit.
There we go. Or yeah, they get to a a town, right? And they're like, "Oh, the Guardians are coming. We thought you were the Guardians." And then they set up and like prepare a defense for the town. Yeah, exactly. That would have been great.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's the Western version of
Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven?
Great
Yeah.
movie. Great fucking movie. The remake,
both.
whatever.
Both.
Completely. the remake of it that came out a few years ago that had like, I don't know, Chris Pratt and other people in it.
I forgot.
Completely
about that.
forgettable. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You forgot it. You all
Didn't know
forgot
it
it
was a thing.
existed. But the original Magnificent Seven, starring Yul Brynner from like 1963, I think. Great fucking movie. Holds
movie.
up. Holds
And
up.
Seven Samurai. Both hold
Well,
up.
it does. Yeah. And Magnificent Seven was an Americanized remake of the Seven Samurai.
Yeah, the
and
Western spaghetti westerns are based on.
Yeah. And it's
Samurai
interesting too, because like that whole trope that's become like a trope in the ensuing decades of like basically a bunch of like a ragtag group of characters coming into a situation reluctantly to defend it. Like that got started with the Seven Samurai.
It's
And
one
that-
of my favorite, like, action story kind of moment.
Yeah, it's a great setup. That's why it became a trope, because it's such a
Yeah.
great setup.
Oh, now I want that. I want that hidden episode of Reboot where they go to a system and protect it from the Guardians.
That'll be our fanfic for this series.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
So
what's
explain-
going on?
Sorry, guys.
So
Yeah,
we
so
are rats caught in
Sniddler,
a trap.
explain how they're caught in a trap. I don't really
They-
get it.
We're like rats
Well,
in a
this-
cage, and what's outside of the cage? Douchebags. Douchebags. It was a Metalocalypse reference.
Yeah. Douchebag.
Forgot about that.
Sorry, yeah. Go ahead.
Anyway, sorry, Sniddler. Take it
Oh,
away.
that's okay. We soon find out. I don't know if we've already been through this. Have we been through this? Have we found out that this is actually the trap that Mouse set?
We're
They-
2 seconds away from Bob saying
speculate.
Yeah,
They
because
speculate,
we're like rats caught in a trap, and then he's going, no, this is what Mouse did, because when Bob was shot up into the web, Mouse scrambled the code.
Mousetrap.
It's not a rat trap. It's a mouse trap.
So yeah, that's what's attacking the ship. And so they get the idea to, well, their system's fried, basically. Well, no, they shut down. Sorry, I'm all mixed up. They shut down everything so that the shields stay up and they stay protected, obviously. They then, Ray Tracer says maybe we should get out and push.
This is bad.
You know,
Very
yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Forgot
It's
about
like
that.
we might have stood a chance against
Yeah.
the Guardians, but Mouse? Mouse is really fucking good.
Yeah, so
I
this
forgot
is
all about that. Sorry, I totally biffed that one.
Sniddler there. Mouse is really fucking good. Yeah. Sorry.
Death
Yes.
by Snoo. Thighs that can crush a watermelon.
Somebody
I
else
mean,
want
she
to take
probably
this?
isn't that the goal?
If only it was my
Get
watermelon.
yourself a woman who can crush a watermelon between her thighs or head.
I've met
No.
him.
Oh, I see. We have
No, but I want to
Right
see
here.
that suddenly.
So, quick shout out to like the end of season 2 when Megabyte tricked Dot. Well, yes and no, but Mouse set up the systems, and she had said, "Oh, nothing from the web will be able to like enter mainframe again."
Yeah, it'll
And
be
Megabyte's
impossible.
like, good.
Clever girl.
So this is the result. Her programming, creating these traps and making it so that
impenetrable.
It's literally a two-factor authentication because there's 2 traps before you get to the tear.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I like that. That's
You got it.
It's 2-factor authentication.
Yep, they're sending
Which everybody hates.
They're sending a text message to a phone number, but it's actually a phone number that's like Bob and Enzo don't have anymore. So it's like shit. What do we do now?
Password reset? Oh my god. Okay, see you guys in 2 hours.
A Google representative will contact you within 3 to 5 business days to reset your account.
I feel like Christopher has felt that pain.
Yo, legit. That's actually a thing that's happened. And spoilers, they never fucking actually contact you. I just ended up somehow remembering what my password was for this like Google account from like 15 years ago.
Nice.
Shiver me templates. The old girl can't take any more of this. Something like that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was basically it, yeah.
I missed all the streaming.
They're just hiding at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Without power, we're sitting ducks, gentlemen.
Yes.
And then what were you? Somebody mentioned Surfer.
I think it was the Surfer. Just said maybe we should get out and push. Which is very funny.
Let's use the power of the storm itself to propel ourselves forward.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think he was being serious, but Capacitor is.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I don't think Ray was being serious at all. Facetious.
Because when Capacitor says that, Ray's like.
I would just like to point out that Capacitor's plan here actually makes them riders of the storm.
True. Because you're literally riding the wave.
Yeah.
We caught a charge, bro.
What's Matrix doing now? I don't know.
And then with
Matrix, I need that. Oh wait, was this?
I need that eye.
I need the eye of yours.
What are they doing?
So
Help
he
me.
kind of.
What's happening?
I guess he's looking. I didn't quite get what happened here, but it looks like he's looking for another strike, another bolt of lightning, another charge.
This is coming from behind them in the web, though.
Yeah.
Yep. He's using his eye to sense where it is, and then to kind of line up.
And the ship's moving. Oh, okay. So I got you now. The ship's moving, and then he's like, "Wait for it," and when they have the back to an approaching storm, then they shoot out the sails.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. And then once that lightning hit strikes in the music, because I'm just a music nerd, you get the main Saucy Mare theme that you hear way back in season 1.
Except it's in triplets.
Well, it was always in triplets.
Season 1 was 4/4. You sure?
Oh,
music nerd.
Are we shit?
Standoff.
Time to throw down, folks.
We will have Sniddler. We will do it. We will do an extended cut.
Okay.
On the music of ReBoot. Okay.
In the red trunks.
I am down for that.
A.P. Sniddler. And in the
Making his way to the ring. He hails from Regina, Saskatchewan. He insists that the song from ReBoot was in 4/4 time. He is the one and only A.P.
Season 1.
Sniddler.
Wow.
Stone Cold.
Sniddler said so.
You're like, you stand up on the turnbuckle, and instead of like holding up fingers, you're just like 4. 4.
You think it's a simple meter? Okay, but can we both agree that the instrumentation's in the French horns, though?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Together.
I mean, yeah.
If you smell what the glitch is cooking.
This is a whole. This is gonna be a whole episode with you and I. You understand that, right? We're gonna do an extended music of ReBoot.
Yes.
Yeah, and I get to be the ring, and I get to be the Howard Finkel for that episode, the ring announcer.
Yeah.
Can you bring your microphone down from the ceiling, Christopher?
Let's get ready to rumble.
If anybody else is a music nerd and is watching this or listening to this, give them what for. Who's right?
Yeah.
Cal.
That's right. I promote healthy competition.
Okay.
True. That is the way to really settle this, honestly.
I don't even take sides. I just want to see the gloves come off.
Tweet at them.
Yes, at them. Do at them.
AP Sniddler at LadyGlitch 619.
I'm over here.
Okay, so anyway, after this, they're riding the wave on that lightning bolt. Sails are overloading.
By God, we'll read this wave all the way to mainframe.
This blasted energy wave.
By God, the savage.
Okay.
How did it happen? Wasn't that my barbarian persona?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I let my
the
hair out or
savage.
something, and I was like, Bygar. right, Bygar. Yeah. It's my Conan, my Conan Sona.
Conan Sona.
So their sails are ripping apart?
Yep, but they get enough energy to make it through that first trap. So now they're getting closer to the tear. But Ray Tracer gets knocked back, and he can't go through that trap.
Okay.
What's happening here?
Yeah, I'm lost.
Yeah, that is actually
I'm
why
with you. I just don't know what's
he's not with them.
Oh, wait, I jumped ahead. I'm sorry.
Ray couldn't make it through the trap. Everyone else could. Because at some point he does.
The power's down. They can't move. Energy
dead
sails
below.
burnt out. Backplane burnt out. Navcom
Burned out.
The only way to make a profit after this voyage will be to have a fire sale. That's the best fucking burn. That's the best line Mr.
Best
Christopher has
burn.
ever said.
Oh yeah.
So Bob's asking.
That's a great burn there, but I'm tis. Anyway, what the fuck's going on in this episode? I don't even
So they're
know
literally
anymore.
in the dark.
Yep, and Bob's
Just
like,
like
hey,
me.
let's fix the ship. Do you have the schematics?
Yeah, and they
get
Enzo
it to
takes
him.
them.
Enzo takes it.
He's like, give this to me. I architect. And I'm like, what are you
I
gonna
know how
do,
to
man?
schematic.
And then Andrea
I like
comes
that
over and
Bob-
just like whacks him one, and then Bob
I know,
becomes
I love that.
alive, like, hey.
Love that. Hey.
I like that Bob asks
That was
for the
really funny.
schematics, and Enzo takes them, opens it, looms over them, and then he's like, okay, Bob, what's the plan?
Bob's just like
We've worked with guys like that.
Yeah.
We've worked with guys that are all like, oh, and they kind of like butt in, they do it, or they're like, okay, so like, what are we doing? And I'm like, why are you taking charge of the project when you like barely know what we're doing?
And what I like about this quick exchange between Bob and Andrea is that Bob turns to Andrea and is like, hey, Andrea, can you get us back online? So it's like he trusts her intellect and her smarts and her knowledge about, I guess, repairing shit and, mechanics and stuff.
Already,
misread
he only first met her like what, like a couple hours ago.
2 seconds ago.
I misread the situation. He's like, okay, Bob, what are we gonna do? He's taller than Bob.
Yeah.
And Bob's like trying to like look over his shoulder. He's not trying to be a dick about it and like take charge.
He just can't
like,
see.
Yeah. Okay, I misread that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yep. So they're reading the schematics.
Yeah, since when did Andrea become a mechanic?
I think maybe it's something that she's always inherently had, but she may have picked up skills along the way.
Games. Rebooting.
Game sprite and their ability to do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or perhaps we're just introducing a new character trait on the fly. Yes.
Almost like they've never mentioned it before until it's convenient.
I've always kind of run on the assumption that she's a game sprite and she knows more about the program and stuff in it than most other
Good thing they're in
sprites.
the game now. What would they do without her?
Right?
Yep. Mainframe gonna mainframe.
Yeah, mainframe gonna mainframe.
So,
Framer's gonna frame.
Framer's gonna frame.
Yeah.
And then it burns up.
Yeah, like what's going on? They ask for a light because it's so dark.
He's
I
like,
don't know.
Aziz, light. Yeah.
Big
He
old
yells
light bulb.
Aziz, light. And there's light, but then it eats up the schematics.
Like, what's going on?
This is where the pixels show up.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
It literally looks like a Disney World light show. It's all pretty, but it's starting
Pretty. I like that Capacitor screams, "By the code, is there no end to this web madness?"
Yeah, that made me laugh earlier too. Because I was kind of thinking that at that moment. I'm like, what the fuck else is like going to just like randomly show up as a problem in the web? Like,
yeah. Like, come on. Like, again? Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so the web itself will degrade matter, so they needed to coat themselves in the flesh of dead web creatures to protect themselves against that.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
Makes sense.
Yeah, sure. It's cool. Looks cool. But now it's like, okay, so we have like a swarm of like flying Tinkerbells that can also eat through web creature flesh as well.
destructive pixie dust.
That's what I was wondering. It can eat through anything, which makes it more powerful than that giant laser.
Yeah.
And more powerful than like energy weapon blasts from the web riders.
Yeah. Yeah. So
they don't seem to be hurting any of the individuals though.
But they're chasing them around though, so it's kind of like Null seeking out energy.
Okay, so it's not necessarily that they're consciously attacking the ship, but they're just going towards energy.
Yeah.
It's possible.
They are
like
parasitic.
Yeah, and then they start chasing the crewmates around as well.
Okay.
And you got the cook there just diligently doing potatoes. They're flying around him. And he's just going nuts.
So I like that they can't open the giant like door, which they've had to repair like twice now, I swear. The giant door because it has one of those what are those called? You'd think I'd play enough like Metal Gear Solid 2 to know what those giant like navy
wheels
port doors.
I'd call it a wheel.
Lock. Yeah, the wheel lock.
You just gotta mash triangle, okay?
Yeah, come on. You do it every time. And they're like, oh, we need some brute force. Matrix.
Stand back.
Somebody say brute force. And then Bula comes up and she's like, oh.
Why didn't they call for Bula? My God.
Right? Not enough Bula.
No.
Yeah, but Matrix like manhandles this door open. I'm useful, finally.
He spits on his hands. He does the whole like.
Yeah. I like that he opens it up and then everyone immediately starts to get sucked out.
I've never understood the point of doing that.
I guess they're trying to eject all the pixels.
Doing what?
I don't know.
Spitting on your hands before doing something.
Have you ever like gone across the monkey bars or like done any weights or anything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shred your hands.
Yeah.
Right? And so not only does that add some grip if your hands are like sweaty, on the other hand, it adds less friction so that if you are doing something like that or going hand over hand, that you're not like ripping apart your hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're supposed to use powder.
Yeah, some kind of rosin or starch. Flour.
But he didn't have powder, so it's
Chalk.
just
But
it's just
in a
symbolic
pinch.
thing. In a pinch, spit will do for many things. Shine your shoes, opening doors. That one scene in Brokeback Mountain.
I was gonna say.
Storm.
I'm glad you went there.
Yeah, no.
Feel when you go to that movie and you have no idea what it's about?
Well, some
True story,
spit lube. Here we go.
True story, by the way. So, because when that scene comes on, it's like it's very sudden and right in your face, and I was like, "Oh,
Okay,
this isn't
so
a cowboy movie."
I've only seen that movie once.
I like it.
I saw it once, like back when it first came out on DVD. I thought them like fucking in the tent for the first time like came just out of nowhere. I was like, oh, okay, like these are just like two dudes, and I say this as like a bisexual dude. I'm like, I found like
That's what I mean.
in the movie. I'm like, okay, they're just like a couple dudes who are like, you know, a couple of cowboys who are like getting on as friends, like they're palling around, and then all of a sudden they just start like fucking in a tent. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was okay with it, and it ended up being a sad, heartfelt, meaningful like movie.
Yeah.
But it was just like, yeah, here we are. We're just like cowboys, like, you know, we're letting down our guard. We're becoming, boom, spit on the hand,
butt fucking,
butt sex. Yeah. But we're not talking about the butt sex here. I like that one of the web writers, before they leave, I'm not sure why they're leaving, by the way.
It's because Bob told them to take the fight outside to distract the pixels from eating the rest of the ship.
One of them stops holding up his gun, and in like that screeching sound says, "You act with honor. There's hope for you yet, warrior." I'm like, you guys are really judgmental for knowing him for like a day.
Yeah.
But I like to think that Matrix has no idea what he's talking about.
I guess like no one can hear what he's saying.
You too, man.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
And then Tracer also heads out, and he stops by Matrix, and he says, "Next time I want to pick a fight with you, talk me out of it."
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I would have thought
I like that.
went without saying even after the prison thing. Yeah. But it was pretty funny.
Yep. So they all get out.
It's a good goodbye.
What? Cal, what'd you say?
It's an interesting goodbye. You know, it's like they're rushed, but it's just kind of like a, hey, that's his way of saying goodbye, and off they go. And then they take out like UV light to get rid of the COVID.
It's
they
like
pull a Trump and they just scan fucking UV light. They're power washing it with like UV light, and that gets rid of the pixels.
Yep.
Makes me wonder why they didn't whip these guns out when they were inside the ship. But
sunlight fights viruses. That's how that works.
Apparently,
it just works.
Our,
Makes me wonder why they didn't go under the skin of the ship and.
I overheard at my work a little while back a certain cash manager whom I've witnessed wearing a Trump 2020 wristband IRL actually said
when Canadians care about American politics that much.
She's British, but
even stranger.
Right. overheard her saying very unironically that it has been scientifically proven that sunlight kills viruses.
I actually have heard of that, like real talk. I don't know if I haven't actually researched it myself, but I have heard that like there is a technology that involves something to do with UV rays.
Was it from?
But not drinking bleach or anything like that.
It's not practical, right? You can't cure COVID by shining
no.
like a light on them or whatever.
No.
But Christopher, like ultraviolet and UV light does break them down faster than if they were, say, like in the shade.
Yeah.
It's not practical, but I mean, that technically they're right.
Technically, it's a thing, but it's not a it's not a practical.
But like you
practice.
can't cure yourself by going into like a tanning salon and going into one of the tanning beds.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna do next time I have a cold. Just lay down in a tanning booth. Yeah.
Exactly. By that time, it's in you.
What am I do?
Come out.
I feel great. I'm a living god.
It does degrade it like faster, but to what end, right? Like if you were to catch it, it's through droplets, through other people's speech, it's through touching doorknobs and then wiping your face, right? You're not gonna like shake hands with somebody, go,
that's technically,
and then reach outside.
Anything, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And then reach outside for 30 seconds, put your hand in sunlight, and go, excellent. I'm immune.
Anyways, what are we talking about right now?
We're talking about
using UV light to get rid of the pixels.
Yeah, and then Ray Tracer goes by, he sprays the entire mare down with his own powers. It's like this protective jelly lube kind of thing that gets the rest of the pixels off, but it also charges the boat up. So all of the power comes back on.
I thought it was only 10%.
Well, it is only 10%, just a little bit.
That's more than enough to get us back to mainframe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where the hell?
Captain, let's get this ship moving.
Yep. And then Bob's like, I'm surprised at Mouse. This was almost too easy.
Yeah. Stabilize that tear.
Captain, let's get this podcast moving.
Let's get the podcast moving, folks. Bada boom. Protective lube jelly around the ship. Ray Tracer uses some energy to like help propel the ship.
Right. And then his lube barrier breaks and it kicks him back.
That's not good.
So the Web Riders are trying to penetrate this other orb with their weapons.
But without protection.
Yeah. And then
this is how I learned, kids. Yeah.
And the Web Riders
how to penetrate things with your weapon.
Sure. And that too.
Yeah. And we get the shot of the Web Riders and Ray Tracer kind of just like giving up, and they're like,
they can't
sorry,
get through.
guys. Wherever you're going, you're on your own.
Bye. Peace. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
So now
something
the boat
about their nature being web.
Possibly. It's I think it's a type of energy shield that they can't get through with the types of weaponry that they have. And they try to touch it, they'll like die.
For whatever reason, they can't get through.
Nope.
Bye-bye.
In the ship.
Yep, and it's slowly making its way towards the tear. If that tear is not stabilized, everything on the mare is going to go boom.
Yep.
Yes.
I like the capacitor's like, lads, we've gotten through worse scrapes than this. And
no, we haven't.
Guy is like,
no, we haven't.
No, we haven't.
Andreas
like Bob.
What we need is a plan.
I like that Bob acknowledges, though. He's like, I always liked to fly by the seat of my pants and leave the planning to Dot.
Oh.
And then
you can see in his face, like, he misses her. And it's like,
I like Enzo's idea. I say we ram it. Sure.
Well, Wilbur sums up the ramming speed.
Yeah, it's just like, okay. Where?
That's the Viking method, right there.
Yeah.
Battering ram.
Yeah, take us around the tear and build us up to speed. But Bob, of course, is thinking logically about it. But Matrix is like, I got this one covered. It's like, dude, calm down. And Bob's like, no, Andrea's right. It's like, yeah.
So basically, if they have anything on them that's from the web, that's why they're being attacked to begin with.
Yeah. It's like Mousetrap shouldn't attack us.
And that was the big eureka moment for Bob, going like, okay,
that must be basic.
Yeah, we're covered in dead web creatures. Of course, they're going to be attacking us. You know, Captain, turn on the shields.
I'm asking you to trust me. One more time.
Oh, I love that quote. Look,
by the code will devolve.
You to trust me one more time.
Yeah.
And you can hear that angry crescendo in his voice. It's like, I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've been in the web for a while.
Yeah, they won't devolve.
And I still know
quickly.
Mouse. Yeah.
Yeah. By the code will devolve.
By the code. Bob's been here years. They'll be fine.
He's been here for minutes.
So many minutes.
Whole minute, maybe even hours.
Maybe even a whole second.
Yeah, but Matrix does remind him that without the surfer, there's no portal. And then Bob's like, I know.
And then we see something that we've only seen earlier in this series, in this season. We see Glitch kind of like, kind of look a little thing.
Yep.
Talks to him. And then they have a conversation.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, so Glitch is sentient.
Yeah.
I think when Turbo was there, it like reacted to Turbos.
Yeah, it's been alluded to before, but
Yeah. Key tools can talk to each other, but they can also talk to their guardians.
I kind of I was gonna say like it kind of felt intimate in a way where they're like Glitch knows Bob because it was automatically attracted to Bob because it went right back to his arm,
right,
or to his hand rather, and and so they're talking and you could tell it's very important whatever's happening, and
it's like
it was really interesting. Like this is Bob's Glitch. Glitch hasn't seen him in a long time.
He's like, "Thank you, old friend."
Yeah.
After their like little conversation, as if we don't know the audience.
Yeah.
But when he says glitch download, shit gets a little bit wild.
Yeah. I love the animation here. It's fantastic. There's so many pretty colors.
So glitch turns into an energy ball and it surrounds Bob and transforms him.
They merge.
Sort of?
Yes.
They merge.
And Bob goes.
So he's wearing silver armor.
Yeah. We are
Silver and
now
gold armor.
one.
What do you guys think of this?
I hate it. I always hated it.
I don't like the look of it. I think
like
when it first happens, I was like, oh sweet, he's changed. Okay, that looks cool. And then after a while, I was kind of like, I actually kind of miss how Web Bob looked.
As long as he keeps the hair and the
balls,
like the the weird like infection-y kind of like thing.
Balls,
I think he looks cool.
I got.
He looks cool. He's Super Saiyan now, man.
But
it was the fastest download I've ever seen.
Yep.
Of anything.
Well, they're connected right to the web.
It took like 10 seconds.
They're connected directly to the web. So.
Yeah. Well, in 1997, when everyone was on 56K, this is some like early days broadband shit right here.
Yeah.
That one friend in your neighborhood that had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like Lady Glitch was saying, he goes Super Saiyan, he blows apart all the shielding.
Yeah, he's just he's running around the mirror covering things in glitter.
Yeah.
I mean, he's literally shitting glitter everywhere.
Gold.
Yeah.
At the same time, so he's shielding the ship at the same time as he's blowing off all the web creature shit.
Yeah.
And then there you go.
He shoots a Kamehameha
and mends the tear. creates a portal to mainframe, and they sail into it, and he says, "I come from the net," and recounts like his bullshit from the intro of the first couple seasons of Reboot.
Well, it's a little different.
It's a little different than
just
that.
a little bit. But it's a very.
Christopher just yada 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 and an actual touching. What I thought was a touching. One
This is like one of the most
the
powerful
episode.
scenes so far in this season.
I like that. I liked how he said it because he says, "I search for the net."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you can see in his eyes, like, he literally, sincerely thinks that he's going home.
Yeah.
Because he's finally found his home. Because when we first meet Bob at the very beginning, he's like, I'm just kind of here. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with my life, but here we go.
Yeah.
And now he's established those roots, and he's like, hell yeah, I'm going home.
I'm hyped, man. I thought that line delivery right at the end was sick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Glitch Bob. I thought the whole. We'll get into it when we get into it.
In
But
the grand scheme of things, I don't care because it's still Bob. But I just wasn't crazy about the way he looks.
We're done.
We
get it, folks.
End of episode. Woo!
So there you have it. There you have it. That's Mousetrap.
Mousetrap.
Mouse trouble? Then you need Mousetrap.
Not a rat trap. A mouse trap.
Anybody else have some closing
We're
remarks?
all gonna die.
We're all gonna die.
Anybody have some closing remarks before I go into our rating system?
Let Chopper Face and the Boss Monkey duke it out. No fur off of my tail.
All right.
They're like looking at us like
here,
we're insane.
Here on Alphanumeric, we have a 4-tiered rating system. From awesome to not so awesome. The worst of the worst is that was bad. That was very bad. And then the not so bad, but like, you know, it wasn't awesome either, is that was easy enough. See, I remember this time. Again, right?
No, that's not right.
That was easy enough?
No.
No.
There's another one in there.
Are you sure? I don't think so. There you go. And then it's I don't think so. And then it's that was easy enough. And then the top of the top, the cream of the crop,
is too
alphanumeric.
much energy.
Here we go. I'm gonna start with Christopher Siege. Christopher Siege, what did you think of this episode?
I liked the moments with Enzo and Bob. I think Enzo, we're continuing to see Enzo grow and develop as a character, and indeed as a young man. Beyond that, though, I don't know. I don't like the look of Glitch Bob. I also don't really dig Bob merging with his key tool. I don't know. I find that kind of a strange plot point.
Why is it more powerful when they merged?
Yeah.
That's
and suddenly, like, he has like weird, like, gold glowy powers that like neither of them had prior to that. I don't know.
Super Saiyan.
I don't like it. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. This episode was kind of just.
It's a sufficient amount of reboot.
It's a very low. That was easy enough for me.
Yeah.
All right. Neil Cow, what did you think of this episode?
The source of conflict was nebulous energy.
Swarm of Tinkerbells.
The dialogue saves it. Swarms of like energy. I found that kind of meh. The plot meh, but the dialogue's great. Like, you know, it's not just action. Like the fact that they focused on character development, getting over people changing, lowering your guard, learning to trust again, like all that stuff I like. So it gets a
Very, very intense.
Low. That was easy enough.
Okay.
All right.
It was saved by the character interaction, but the conflict was. I don't just like that the conflict is like energy balls and lightning.
No.
That's meh. Makes sense because it's Mouse's. It's her Mousetrap or like whatever, so it's okay. But meh.
Maybe Mouse put the pixels there.
It's possible.
No.
I assume so.
Does the things.
I mean, wasn't that the point?
Yep.
To keep web shit out.
Yeah.
Sorry, LadyGlitch.
Surfer knew who they were. So Surfer knew what they were, the pixels. Everybody was like, what the hell are these? No. LadyGlitch, what did you think of Mousetrap?
There was a lot of...
That was not me. Carry on.
So there was a lot of really good scenes in Mousetrap, especially the character interactions like we had discussed. We had the Matrix Andreas scene. We had Bob and Matrix finally having their first sit-down chit-chat since season 2 ended. I was a fan of the animated sequences, specifically with, the lightning and the glitter, even though that's kind of my thing. I really enjoyed the recapitulation of Bob's original intro at the end of the episode, because it's kind of tying everything back together before we zoom on home. So...
Full circle.
Thank you. Yes.
I thought it was pretty hype.
Yeah, so hype. It was goosebump inducing.
It was.
Yeah. So I am going to give this one a solid. That was easy enough. It was there, but not quite.
Not quite.
Yeah, not quite.
Nice. So that was easy enough. That was easy enough. That was easy enough.
Your turn.
The Sniddler.
So here I go back to my roots.
Oh boy.
I like this episode. I really, really do. We had the Bob and Enzo moments. We had the Dot and Enzo moments. The end Renzo moments, and gonna say Benzo moments. Bob and Enzo moments. 2 new hashtags. 1 new hashtag rather. We had all the moments. We had some interesting character development, and I didn't really have a conflict. None of the the pixels, the charges, the Mousetrap, all the dynamics that led to them finally going home. I didn't really bother me too much. I just focused more on what was going on, like with each character and how they're getting home. So now they're getting home, and that's getting an alphanumeric for me, because also you brought up about like, well, how does that make Bob more powerful if he merges with Glitch? And I'm thinking Glitch was broken because Megabyte like crunched it, and Bob is still alive, and Bob has also been to the supercomputer, like he's been to the academy. If he merges with Glitch, he will take what Glitch already has, and he also has the abilities that Bob also has in terms of like viral immunity and just basic,
What you're trying to say is they merged.
Yeah, they merged. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Shut up. I just think it's kind of cool, like how they he doesn't have a key tool, he is the key tool.
He is indeed a key tool.
He's the key tool.
He's the biggest tool.
So yeah, it's getting an alphanumeric for me because he was able to make the portal. They bypassed they did not bypass. They managed to get through Mousetrap. And they're heading home.
We got through this episode.
Yeah.
So
we did it.
That's it.
So what you're saying is, dude who can't get sick merges with broken key tool and thus becomes all powerful.
Powerful enough, yeah.
It's like when Piccolo and Nail fuse.
Yes.
They don't just combine their powers. They're more powerful than the individual parts.
You know what? I actually want to return back to that conversation that Glitch has with Bob before they merge, because you can look on Bob's face and realize the implications and the potential consequences of doing this action of merging with a broken key tool, because Glitch is talking to him.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, it's possible, but I want, and then Glitch cuts him off, and then he has the look of, but I don't want to do this. And then I think at that point, Glitch is trying to tell him there's going to be problems in the future if we merge. You have all of these great pros, but there's going to be cons as well. Yeah. And then he's got that look of shock on his face, and then it releases to a, God damn it, you're right. Yeah. There is no other way. This is the only way we can do this.
A very good way of putting that, yeah.
Yes.
There was a lot happened in that conversation. And it was clear that he and his key tool, had, well, if you will, had a relationship. Because it's like the key tools choose their guardian, right? Mm-hmm. So obviously he's had the key tool for a long time. And then, like, that was part of how he got everything done.
Mm-hmm.
If I recall correctly, we find out in Season 4 exactly how he came into possession of Glitch.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So I shall wait and see.
Yes.
I'm the only one that hasn't seen it.
All right. That has been episode 35 of Alphanumeric, where we talked about the 12th episode of the 3rd season of Reboot. If you want to support the show...
I'm so sorry I biffed that in that beginning.
It's all good. You'll get there.
I totally misunderstood what you... Okay, anyways, go on.
Anyway. Best way to support the show, wherever you are watching and or listening to this, give it a like, give it a subscribe, give it a 5-star rating, anything. Helps us out. Positive feedback. Or if you have negative feedback, give us that too. Because
constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism.
Please.
Yes, we are here for you, and we are trying our best to make the best show possible for all of you out there. Yes. If you want to get in touch with me personally, you can do so on Twitter. I am at Lasercomb, LAZORCOMB, and Sniddler, you also have Twitter as well, yes?
I do have a Twitter. I'm over here. I do have Twitter. It's AP Sniddler, APSNIDDLER.
You've corrected me twice now. You are that way on my screen.
Oh, really? I'm different now? Okay, sorry.
No, you're the same. I'm just mirrored.
Oh, fair. Fair, I get it.
It'll make sense when you watch this on YouTube.
Okay, awesome. Yes, I'm also on Twitter at APSNIDDLER. Also, the same name on Instagram. And yes. I think that's it. And TikTok.
Christina.
I'm never on.
LadyGlitch. Where can people find you?
Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. LadyGlitch619.
And the Cal of the Neo. Where can people find you?
At Neo_Cal with the K.
And if you want to follow the show proper, go to Facebook, facebook.com/lasercomb. I post about things relating to this show, Alphanumeric, but also every other show that I produce. So, Too Much Energon, Based On, War Planets, a Shadow Raiders podcast, and Cartoons at Night, which is kind of on hiatus right now because I'm reimagining that show, but it will be back soon. Patreon. Patreon.com/lasercomb. LAZORCOMB. You, for a mere $5 Canadian per month, you get access to our Discord channel, which is where we make all of this magnificent magic happen. And you get access to preamble, outtake audio, where we spend literal hours shooting the shit and talking about whatever our hearts desire. And if you want some like early spoilers about like maybe some plans that we have cooking for future episodes of these shows, we also talk about those in the outtakes as well. Yes. So, and if you're a Patreon subscriber, which we have 2 of now, monthly Patreon shoutouts. I'm gonna give these shoutouts now. thank you to our $5 and up Patreon subscribers, B and Lewis. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you have any suggestions about how to make the Patreon better, please, by all means, reach out. Because we're all kind of new to this, so we're kind of just figuring this shit out as we go along. So if you have suggestions on how to improve the Patreon and make it a better value for your money, yes, then please let us know. I think that about does it this week, so we are going to get out of here. Now,
Yes.
I've been one of your hosts, Christopher Siege.
I am another host, NeoCal.
I'm another host, LadyGlitch.
And I've been another host, AP Sniddler.
And until next week, mouse trouble? Then you need Mousetrap.
I've done some
So long.
questionable things.
Oh, haven't we all?
Exactly.
Oh,
Never.
wow. Oh, shit just got dark. Not, well, real. Maybe not dark, but real. Shit got real.
Good
Anyway,
night.
bye-bye.
Until next time, do what you need to do. Goodbye.
Yeah. See you later, folks.